Hey there friends, and welcome back to episode 2 of my Pyre gameplay series for Heroes Hour. I'm Icon and we're going to stomp a little bit today. At least that's what I hope. Last episode I brought most of this cluster already under my control. There's only some resource buildings that I haven't fetched up yet. And we picked up the treasure, which has been quite underwhelming this time. Although I'm not gonna talk too bad about a +4, +2 axe. Not too bad, but no set. Usually you run into some sort of set, but let's see where we're going to end up here. So another level up, hell yeah. This was what I've been waiting for. So I think the basic setup for this character is already pretty neat. What I want to amp up now next is the regeneration, because, you know, I love having a lot of mana available. And let's keep picking experience, because I really feel like it's really good to pick. Alright. And if I remember correctly, I haven't hired any troops here yet either. Wonderful. So let's see, what were we going to go for next? More income via the architect? Well, it's pretty costly income increaser. I know what. We're going to go for the champion statue, because this will also level up the town one more time. Royal institution, that's one level up. Grand army. More recruitment. Very tempted to go between Royal Institution and Grand Army. Let's go for Royal Institution because I like the snowball effect behind that. And it also gives me a good excuse. Oh no, I don't need to get her there to bring her back home, I wanted to say, but actually I don't need to. So let's level up logistics as well, because logistics is also pretty awesome. Extra movement radius is one of my favorite traits in general in a lot of games. So let's recruit whatever we can recruit. And this week it's about time to set up the marketplace as well. Now, well, let's move the stack. Where to? Well, I think my next stop will be definitely somewhere there. That's one really cool thing about this faction, you have these crazy movement patterns available. Just teleporting around between controlled mines is absolutely insane in my humble opinion. Okay, so Quara, whatever. What next? I want that gateway to hell, but first off, let's pay the Empire of Pyre thingy. What a wackadoodle name. Okay, this is one of my least favorite fight scenarios, always. I hate fire elementals. So let's save the game, because they explode into your face, you know. I hate everything that includes explosions into my face, because that means we're going to lose units, no matter how we play that. Well, maybe it's not that bad, but most of the time it is. So let's drop down some comets and let's toss some summons in between. Problem about these fire guys is that they explode when they die, and that makes it very hard to mitigate your losses. Something in your front line will get blown up. It's just a matter of time. But, well, we lost a lot of the Capras again, but... Diplomacy. Okay. I got diplomacy since when? Why? Ah, Armor of Ideals. Here, diplomacy. So obviously I get to hire some of the... I'll have to check that out. Okay, so let's go for the next battle. This time they don't have anything ranged in their in their assortment. This is really good. This means staying back is really worth it. So there we go. Let's teleport a couple of their frontliners just backwards, so I don't have to deal with everything at once. But looks like we got this. My front line is wearing a little bit thin right now. So yeah, with diplomacy I could recruit a part of the fallen enemies, it seems. Interesting, but not that interesting as of yet. So let's increase the fire trapping skill, because I'm a big fan of these racial spells. Always have been. And let's see, this should be pretty much... Yeah, well, there's a couple of fights that we have to take still. Okay, but we're pretty much done here with this part of our map here. So there's a moment. Oh, sudden attack by the doorbell. That, never safe from that. Okay, so we were just conquering this spot here. That's where I left off. Well, all these things look nasty in a different way. So let's start out with these guys. There's a lot of backline pressure on them. I mean, there's a lot of nasty stuff incoming, but we will be using our own nastiness to counter that. So let's defend. Let's go for 50% speed. So we're gonna be able to just grab those poor guys and toss them in the middle of our troops. I'm pretty sure this should already end the entire combat, because now they shouldn't have much to work with. Let's repeat that one more time. It's just 10 mana. This is such an insane power move, I don't know why it's allowed to be that strong. Just kidding, I enjoy it a lot. But somehow I feel like this should be limited to a certain amount of uses per fight. Because it feels so bonkers to be able to use that several times during one encounter. Gotta say. I mean, sure, this does drain my mana. Like, for example, now I'm totally but, I mean, seriously, if that's the worst... Oh, I even have one more spell, so never mind me silly. I'm able to just pick these guys up. Oh yeah, we did a teleswap though. Yeah, okay. They got this one-time teleport away trick. Good thing that I can grab them twice. Alright, so far so good. Oh yeah, there's free money. And let's see. This was what we needed for the Gate to Hell. So we got ourselves access to Wrath. Sturdy Teleport Rage. Oh yeah. And this guy will transform into Pride, gaining burning and wide attacks. Okay. Just your typical hard to keep alive unit of this faction. Nothing special, nothing unusual, nothing unexpected. All right, so we got the typical pack of nasties here. So that's why I upgraded the fire trapping like that, because you know it's just so brutal what you are able to do there. Just got rid of their entire backline in one grab. Not the entire, but most of it. I lost an Ifrit. Damn. But well, that's okay. We really don't need it that much anymore. So, where to level up next? I think I'm gonna roll with Regeneration now next. Fire Trapping 4 is also pretty delightful, but I don't know, I have a feeling as if... Can this thing be really ever powerful enough? That's the other question that I was suddenly asking myself, you know? It's quite difficult to say. Alright. So, my hero is stopping by. These are the valuable and rare occasions where you can always consider building something which requires the hero to be around. For example, the Archives of Magic. So, let's do this. Teach the good lady some new spells. So, Rampaging Fire creates an army of fire elementals under my control. Cannot exchange units in any way. Alright. It's a little bit underwhelming, I gotta say, but such is life. So, there we go. There's only this big blob left, and that's that. Let's go. Let's pay some more sulfur so we get some freebies here extra. And let's see. I have a hard time deciding which way to go next. I mean, these guys are flagged as moderate difficulty. But, well, I'd love to upgrade my troops a little bit more before going downstairs, you know? So let's see. The Shah upgrade for the Ifrit gives them the Aura of Light power up. But I think it's about time that we upgrade our main backbone a bit. But I just decided I'm going to try and bust down the gates here first. So hey, another hiccup here. Now, jolly old game breakdowns. So we got Paladins, Knights of the Order, and Paragons. This whole setup has one thing in common. It's all tanky. And they have another thing going on for themselves, and that's different time frames. Like, some of them are fast and some of them are slow. Let's see how well I can play that against them. So... Berserk. Oh yeah. Let's send our enemies berserking a little bit. This'll delay them even further. I think that's a good basis to stand on, and they lost a lot of their troop as well. So, let's transport that chunk away. And let's transport the next chunk away. And let's leave the rest to the automatics. I think that's a good, pretty okay outcome then. I mean, I don't have any further mana to pitch it around with. So, I have to accept it, but... I think I could have done way worse. Okay, nice. Welcome underground. Let's pick up the gold, if you ask me like that. Even more gold. Okay. Order. Artisan's Lodge. Allows me to have a small group of units trained into elite units. Training will take 3 days. I see. Well, it's the last day of this week, so what can we do? Let's build a stronghold, because this will upgrade the income of my troops. And let's upgrade the doggos, because I lose a lot of these guys, and I like the idea of stocking up on these troops that I lose a lot. Yay! Level 14! There we go. Let's go for even more regeneration, because I love to be able to spam my skills out like a madman. So, more experience. A keep spawns halberdiers for me. I'm not convinced. Okay, so New week has begun. Alright, this is a really, really large area there. So, what do we do next? Let's upgrade the Hell Pit. And let's hire ourselves a new hero. So, Ganemon. There we go. Welcome, Mr. Ganemon. So yeah, I'm running out of sulfur now slowly. This is the typical situation you run into. So, Ganemon comes with level 2 bodyguards. Fire gating. This is the spell that allows your troops to teleport across and has a 1-day cooldown. So that's the one which you can't spam like you want to. However, the other spell is allowed to be spammed like that. Eludes me, but I don't want to mutter here. I'm happily enjoying this. Just came across for me strangely. Now, swarming, warding, tactics, fire gating, more estates, planning. These all look a little bit underwhelming. Let's go for extra archery. Mostly because this will allow me to go for extra bodyguards ranks. I really feel there is a strong need. And here we go. Unit transfer complete. And this little dude has a little bit of backbone here on his own via the bodyguards. Okay. So our order friend is not underground yet, but it's just a matter of time. The AI always finds a way. Go. From here, I like to have more sassy, strolling little heroes. So we could raid the order troops, but I don't like to break open the portal for my competition. I feel like they can do that on their own, you know. Corpse eaters. Not worth the valuable resource in my humble opinion. Okay, so it's about time to build a marketplace. So I can buy all the sulfur that I need. Okay. So there's some ruins I can pick up as soon as this neutral guy has gone. There's a strange allotment of campfires. Alright. Let's see. Those upgrades are all nice and dandy, but what's the most important stuff next? Let's go for the architect, because that increases my income even further. And let's go for the Grand Army buff as the last one. Here we go. What do we have here? Mercenaries, Rangers. Yeah, why not? 15 Rangers are not incredibly powerful or anything, but they're also not shabby at all. So, there's some glob of easy monsters. I'll always take easy monsters, you know. So here we go. So far, so good. Definitely not gonna hire any of these guys. It's there. Shrine of Beasts. Birds of Fortune. Okay. Gilded Robes. Oh, nice. So, here, Birds of Fortune. I see. Well, they're quite costly, but I like to have cannon fodder, honestly. I never mind to increase my troop count. Especially if it's stuff that doesn't really cost me anything. Alright, this is a nice spot to attack. This should be not a problem at all. Okay. So I'm losing most of my ether things here, I know, but that's what they are made for, you know. Here we go. Free resource and a little bit of extra XP. Let's keep fighting down those little encounters here. I want to hit level 15 so I can get access to one of the most crazy spells that this faction has access to. So... that's a little bit brutal, isn't it? There we go. So the next thing I have on my mind as well is to invest some more money into sulfur to rack up more, what's it called? More free units per fight. Wow, this goes down a lot worse than anticipated. Ouchies. Well, okay. You gotta work hard for these 13 grand XP. That's for sure. Now, let's upgrade fire trapping one more time, or no, let's upgrade creation. And the Thieves Robe with even more daily movement. Wow. It's really awesome. Let's get rid of the Armor of Ideals, because honestly, I didn't use the Diplomacy anyway, so... okay. Let's roll back home here, I'd say. Get those upgraded units, and get ready for a real fight here. Meanwhile, our friend here is allowed to just pilfer around. There we go. Keep looting the XP here as well, because in my humble opinion, those guys are worth the investment as well. They are worth the investment after all. Okay. So, Mercenary Hall. Let's spam out the upgrades for all those buildings. Because I want to move her home here. Okay. So, Archmage Tribunal is also a necessary thing. Necessary evil. Okay. So let's see what we can grab here. There's still been a lot of freebies here around. Okay. So far, I'm very surprised about how passive the Order player has behaved so far. So here we go. Rank 2 Pyromancy was for free. And here the craziest thing is Fire Skip. So you can teleport anywhere within 8 miles, regardless of barriers. Spell's so nuts. Basically, it would allow me now to just teleport over into the enemy territory and capture their city. Just because I'm crazy like that, basically. So let's fight back those little dudes. They seem to have loot for me. So... I love this strategy. Because it gives you so much control about what is going to happen and when it's going to happen. So, an Amulet of Valor. So, +2 moral. Nice. Ring of Celerity. What's that thing about? Even more moral. But I can't have only one moral trinket here. So, this game is sending me moral support. I get it. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. So, let's sit it out for now. Ah, look, they're finally coming underground as well. They're coming late for the party. This is a really lousy setup for bodyguards, I gotta say. Even for rank 2, this is really pretty underwhelming. I didn't expect it to be that bad, to be fair. Okay, here goes the Army of Order. Now begins the interesting part. So first off, let's grab ourselves our recruitments. So I want to have as many of the dogs as possible. The other stuff I have plenty. Okay, now let's see. I'd need 14 sulfur to upgrade this thing. Well, that ain't easy. So, I was talking about easy or not. So these guys are all flagged as impossible. Okay. Let's hide behind there and see where we'll end. Save the game and let's see. For my main hero, they're all flagged as easy. Hey, it's Marco again. Why is it always Marco? Yo, Marco, why are you such an obnoxious dude? Care to tell? So I managed this time to have even more troops than the enemy at the point. This alone is pretty nice. Let's send this portion of the battlefield berserking. And let's just attack. Drop some mana elementals. And, well, let's pop some fire trapping this time, but this time I'll teleport his strongest fighters just extremely far away from where they are needed. This is also pretty nasty, and let's plot some elemental fire in between them. I love this skill so much because it really, I think this just breaks the AI, because you get to pick what you want to have where, and that's just more than the AI can tackle. Sure, I did lose most of my gluttons here, but if I understood that correctly, this must have been the main force of my enemy, so hurrah, we got this. So, was there any other green boy asking for some spanking? I could have bet that there was, here, another Order hero waiting for his just punishments. There we go. Not really such good times for the Order faction, and that's what I'm talking about. You can mitigate your losses so brilliantly with this faction. I love it. I simply love it. Yeah, we don't need to do anything here. I don't even use my mana here because I don't think it would be worth it. I'd rather save it for another occasion. I'm rather grateful for the opportunity to upgrade my my territory. Alright. So, yeah, and I even got another town portal in my pocket. That's the worst part about it. And I could town portal back home and then just walk to that border and just fire skip over that border. Because, you know, I move wherever I want to. So, that's... Oh, that's a moderate difficulty army now. They stocked up. They stocked up in personnel. I'm very afraid now, or something like that. So, well, I think it's really time for me to accept that with this faction I'm pretty well, and I don't need to worry about that anymore. I feel like Pyre is one of the most powerful factions to play in general, because they just have so much going on for themselves. It's crazy. Hey, so Marco is going into an offensive stance. So here, let's just blast away a little bit. Fire gating is not as nearly as powerful as fire trapping is. That's a weird thing, because I really find it extremely anti-intuitive to have such a disparity between those two skills. Like, they hardly feel like the same skill to me. But there we are. It's just as it is. It's weird as it is. But I'd say, yes, this is a matchup that we could play a little bit back and forth now. But I also think that this is pretty much a one scenario. So for whatever reason that is, the enemy just gave up his main city, so I could easily stomp that. And then the next thing we need to do is stop Marco from being a nuisance, and then we're just set to win this game. So yeah, there's a lot of powerful stuff that you can do with the Pyre faction, and seriously, fire trapping is busted. It needs to be reworked in some way, in my humble opinion, because it makes the other skill totally neglectable. I feel like if this would be a skill with 1 day cooldown, just like the other one, it would already feel pretty fine and fair. But what we got here is just overpowered as hell. But okay, we're playing the forces of hell, but it still feels too overpowered, even while role-playing the forces of hell, basically. So yeah, I think we're going to leave it with that. That leaves only Order and Wild as the last two factions that I haven't played yet in this series. So I'm looking forward to those, and after that, it's going to be large maps on an even more higher difficulty. Looking forward to that, my friends. Drop me your comments down below, leave me a thumbs up, and of course consider subscribing if you haven't done so already. I'd be delighted to have you. Have a good one, and see you on the next series, I hope. Bye-bye.